Hello, Knoxville. This is your Knoxville Beer Board. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Welcome everyone here and to those watching at home. Mr. Johnson, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Fugit.
Here.
Councilman Helsley. Here. Councilwoman McKenzie. Councilwoman Parker.
Here.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Here.
Councilman Roberto.
Here.
Councilwoman Singh. Vice Mayor Smith. Here. Councilman Thomas. 6 members present, Chair.
Thank you. The minutes of the last meeting were distributed by email. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not,
There were 2 sets of minutes.
oh, that is correct. I saw those. There were 2 sets of minutes. Do you want me to? It doesn't matter.
Just
Okay.
to point it out.
There were 2 sets of minutes distributed by email. If there are no corrections, the minutes stand approved as corrected, distributed. Yes. Thank you. I got the thumbs up from Councilwoman Helsley. Mr. Johnson, do we have anyone signed up for public comments germane to today's agenda?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Seeing no one is signed up for public comment, we'll move on. The next matters of business are items to be postponed or withdrawn. Mr. Byrd, are there any applicants requesting a postponement?
There are, Chair. 6K, the Paddock Lounge.
All right. Okay. Seeing no others, without objection.
To win.
Oh, when would they like to be postponed?
The next meeting, April 29th, please.
Okay, yes.
So that was 6K Paddock Lounge.
Oh, a gentleman. Sir, if you'll come to the podium. Are you here from Paddock Lounge? Yes, ma'am. Okay. I believe your item is postponed because we are missing pertinent parts of the packet. If you'll, can you please turn on your mic there? It's a button that looks like a little person.
There we go.
Got
Is
it?
that better? Okay. So my name's Brian. I'm the general manager of Paddock Lounge and K1 Speed here in Knoxville. This is the first of me hearing that we're getting postponed, but we have gone through the classes. Unfortunately, when we went to do the class, we were going to do our fingerprints and our background check, and the lady that normally does it was not available. I was told there was a possibility we could get a temporary permit pending the background check to be done as soon as physically possible.
No, so that would be Officer Presley here. Officer Presley, the background check is not back on this one, right?
That's correct, yes. I was not there to do background checks Thursday for him, but there's also someone in California on this, is my understanding, and I've not received any background check from that person at all.
Do you know who that is? Because we have a third party that corporate's kind of going with this, and we're not getting a lot of information from them. So, like I said, I showed up today unaware that we were on postponement.
Looks like that's going to be a James Ambrosio. He had a representative contact me this week and speak to me, and he said they would be working on that and trying to get that to me, but I've not received anything yet. So
Gotta love corporate.
And I've got to get an appointment from you also.
Okay, great.
So we have to postpone because that's the one thing we cannot hear things without is the background check.
Okay.
So you can follow up with Officer Presley and she can get with you on anybody else that needs to do, but tonight we have to postpone this, and I'm happy to talk with you or Mr. Byrd or Officer Presley.
Yeah, Mr. Bird's been an excellent source of information, and forgive me, I'm new to Knoxville,
Oh, that's
so
okay.
all new rules and
Welcome to Knoxville.
thank you. So,
We want it to be a great experience.
oh yeah, we're there halfway so far.
Okay,
So,
all right.
all right,
Okay, so thank you, and we will follow up with you tomorrow.
all right, sounds good.
And onwards. But
All
you
right.
will be postponed to the April 29th, your board meeting.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, do you need a motion for that postponement?
No, so as the story goes, without objection, item 6K is postponed to April 29th. Okay, Mr. Byrd, are there any withdrawals?
Yes, ma'am. 5A, Pariza 2020.
Okay, without objection, item 5A is postponed, withdrawn, so sorry. I'm stuck on that postponement. All right, carrying on. Next, before we get started, I have a few announcements. When I call your name, The businesses applying for the permit, please come to the podium and state your name and address clearly into the microphone for the record. You can do your address, your business address. Applicants who are approved pending final documentation need to bring their completed documents to the business tax office during regular business hours. If you get approved pending final documentation, that means that you have one or more requirements that are incomplete for beer board permit outside of fingerprints and background check. In order to get your certificate of occupancy, which is a common thing that you might be pending, an applicant may need to apply for zoning changes, meet parking requirements, submit architectural drawings to plans review and inspection, and make modifications or building and codes compliance modifications. This may entail hiring an architect and/or a contractor and submitting plans for your site review. Mr. Johnson from the building department is here if anyone is pending certificate of occupancy and needs any of those items or help with the process. Thank you so much. Applicants that have their permit approved tonight can pick up their permit at the end of this meeting from Mr. Brd. The staff at the meeting, we have Mr. Brd, Mr. Johnson, and I don't know if we have anybody from Metro Drug Coalition. They are also someone that can help you with issues. Finally, as I'm chairing the meeting, other members will make motions in the 4th District. All right, let's get started. Our first agenda item is For Them Sanctuary, and that is Brian Coakley. Oh, you'll need to push the button to turn the podium on, the little person. Name and address.
Hi, I'm Brian Coakley. Address for them is 632 Glenlock Road.
All right, thank you so much. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Brd.
That file is complete.
All right. I have a motion to approve and a second. You have an event coming up?
Yes, it's actually this Saturday at the Standard.
Okay, awesome. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
If there's no further questions, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Good luck
much.
this weekend. Next agenda item is Crown Plaza, Knoxville Downtown. Mr. Patel or Miss? Name and address for the record.
My name is Ami Patel, and the address is Ifan Group, Wellington, Unit 2, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919.
Okay. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Brd.
We need the sales tax registration, health department approval, the certificate of occupancy, and surrender of the existing beer permit.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Councilwoman Parker.
I was going to move to approve pending final documentation.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Did you have any? No, okay. Your light is on, so, sorry. All right, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is Dogwood Arts Festival. Abigail Swabe, maybe?
Hi, my name is Abigail Swabe. The address is 123 West Jackson Avenue.
Thank you. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Brd.
That file is complete.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right. Ms. Swabe, that was for your, you have 3 events. That's for the chalk walk, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next, 6D is Dogwood Arts Festival. Abigail Swabe. Name and address for the record.
Okay. Abigail Swabe, 123 West Jackson Avenue.
Okay, thank you so much. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Brd.
That file is also complete.
All right. I got a motion and a second in some order. Any further questions? All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, and our third one here, Dogwood Arts Festival, Abigail Swabe.
Yep. Abigail Swabe, 123 West Jackson Avenue.
Okay, Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Brd.
Complete once again.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. Ms. Swabe, well, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. Ms. Swabe, what are your dates for Chalk Walk?
Chalk Walk is April 5th.
Okay. And downtown Market Square, right? All day
Yes.
long?
Yes.
Okay. And then you've got Southern Skies.
Our next event is Dogwood Arts Festival. It's the last weekend in April, the 25th through the 27th. It's at World's Fair Park. And then the third event is Southern Skies Music Festival, May 10th at World's Fair Park.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck with those events, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next is 6F Fountain City Social. Jason Seelhorst or Tessa Seelhorst? Thank you. Name and address for the record?
Tessa Steelhorse, 4842 Harvest Mill Way.
Thank you so much. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
We need the certificate of occupancy and surrender of the existing beer permit.
All right. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Thank you so much. Ayes have it. Thank you. Next is 6G, the Hazen Historical Museum Foundation. Joshua Loomis, maybe?
Joshua Loomis, 1711 Dandridge Avenue.
All right, thank you so much. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
That file is complete.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. You have an event coming up. What's the date of your event, and what will you guys be doing?
It is April 17th, Thursday, from 6 to 9 p.m. It is a ticketed fundraiser event and garden parlor party.
Okay. Thank you so much, and good luck with your event. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, now good luck with your event.
Thank you, ma'am.
You may go forward. So sorry. Next is 6H KGP Mart. We have Mitashabi Patel from KGB Mart. If you'll come to the podium.
Hello, Dharmesh Patel, 3700 Boys Pike.
Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
We need Department of Agriculture approval, the certificate of occupancy, and surrender of the existing beer permit.
Okay. I have a motion to approve pending final documentation and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Knoxville Coliseum and Hernan Karatachi. Please correct my pronunciations when I get them wrong.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Hernan Karatachea. Address for the business is 4328 North Broadway.
Thank you so much. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
We need the Health Department approval and certificate of occupancy.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yes. Mr. Frost, may I call on you?
Thank you, Chair. Sir, you know you have a very similar name to a City of Knoxville-owned facility, correct?
Yes, that was brought to my attention 2 weeks ago, actually. Knoxville Civic Auditorium, I believe.
Knoxville
Civic Coliseum, yeah.
Civic Auditorium and Coliseum. Okay, I just wanting to make sure you realize that.
Yeah, we're going through with the paperwork. That is definitely a change that we intend to do as soon as everything gets approved and everything is good.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
So you are officially changing your name?
That's not a decision that we have made yet. We were not aware that there was another Knoxville Coliseum. If we knew, we would have definitely named it something else. I do apologize.
Okay, all right.
Chair, would they have to,
Councilman, Vice Mayor Smith.
thank you, would they have to reapply with a new name?
No, okay.
Thanks.
All right, any further questions? I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. Good luck,
Thank you.
sir. Okay, Knoxville Track and Field Club, Jessica Mead.
Hi, I'm Jessica Mead. It's P.O. Box 52266.
Okay, thank you so much. Officer Presley?
No record.
Mr. Byrd?
That file is complete.
All right. I have a move to approve, a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Mead, you guys have an event coming up?
Yes.
What is that and when is it?
April 5th and 6th.
Okay, and that's the marathon, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing everybody run through our neighborhoods again.
Yes, yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, ayes have it, thank you. Next is 6L, St. Lucille's Kitchen. And Michelle Bowen or Eric New.
My name is Michael Freedy. Address is 8 Emery Place, Knoxville.
Hi. Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
We just need the certificate of occupancy and surrender of the existing permit.
I brought those with me. Do I surrender those tonight? Okay.
Yes, you can see Mr. Byrd at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much. Look forward to see what you guys do there, in addition to all the great shrimp on Friday nights at Last Days. 6M, Taco Madres Taqueria, Damna Sanchez.
Hi, I'm Damna Sanchez. The address is 2916 Knoxville Center Drive.
Okay, Officer Presley.
No record.
Mr. Byrd.
We need the sales tax registration, certificate of occupancy, and surrender of the existing beer permit.
Thank you. Okay. I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you so much. Okay, next agenda item is 7B. They picked up. Sorry, 7A has picked up. Is that correct, Mr. Byrd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we can move past 7A. Sorry, I read my writing as postponed. 7B, Professional Sports Catering LLC, Tyler Kennedy.
Tyler Kennedy, 500 East Jackson Avenue.
All right. Officer Presley. Oh, wait, nope, we're past that part. Hi. So I just keep rolling with item 6, and we're addendum items here. Sorry about that. Okay, so you guys have an outstanding approval, and you are, what more is there left to do? I think we probably kind of have some idea, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's my understanding, the site inspection as well as the certificate of occupancy, which I understand is imminent, but not quite there.
Okay. When do you guys believe you guys will be ready? April 15th, maybe?
Definitely by then. I don't have that exact information. I would assume before the first of the month, though.
Okay.
How about we extend for 60 days?
Okay.
Does it come back to us, though? No, it doesn't come back.
Have a motion to extend for 60 days. Anyone want to?
Which means whenever they get all that, they can come in and get their documentation. If that's tomorrow, and they have a beer permit. But just in case.
Anybody want to say? Oh, do you want a date instead of?
Oh, we need a date. So that would be our May meeting, the May Beer Board meeting. May 27th, to be exact.
What time?
It will be at 5 p.m. in this very room.
I have a motion to postpone, and we have a
No,
second.
extend,
All those,
extend.
are there any further questions?
I'm just clarifying, I made a motion to extend, not postpone.
Yes, to extend.
Should this also apply?
Yes.
Does this also apply to 7C?
Yes. Would anybody like, do we
I
need?
would like to move that we consolidate items B and C and extend them both till the May 27th meeting at 5 PM in the main assembly room.
Okay. We have a motion to combine the two items. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. And then we also have a motion to approve the extension. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Did I do that okay? Okay, thank you so much. All right. Thank you, sir. We look forward to not seeing you back here, hopefully, and you'll
Thank
be
you.
done. All right. Our next agenda item is 8A, Henna's Inc., Harbs Market. And this is an administrative hearing. So,
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Stevens.
yes, it's been a while since
Hi,
we've done
this
one
is
of these,
Dilam
so-
Patel,
Sure.
and my address is 3001 Burnside Street, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37921.
Okay, thank you so much. What's that?
Do me go over?
Yes. Mr. Frost, if you could, this is an administrative hearing, and I think it's been a little bit since we've had one, so if you want to kind of go over an overview of what our options are
Thank you, Chair.
before we start discussion.
So this business was cited for a sale to a minor two in a rolling 2-year period. Mr. Brd has laid out in the AIS the timeline. Mr. Johnson has laid out the timeline for this, indicating their history where they have been cited for sales. At this point, the Beer Board has two options. One is to listen to what their presentation is and decide if it is sufficient. If it's sufficient, then you're accepting their proposed corrective measures. If you do not accept it, then you need to vote to send it for a suspension revocation hearing.
Councilwoman Fugit, do you have?
Oh, no.
No, okay. I'll let you guys go ahead and do a response. We have a sale to a minor on 6/28/24, and then the second within a year was February 21st, 2025.
That's correct.
Okay.
Your Honor, these folks came to my office, Your Honor, I'm sorry. These folks came to my office on March 3rd, having been cited for a second time, and they told me that they had tried to comply in every way. They are being unsuccessful. They acknowledge that they're unsuccessful. They asked me if I would assist them and told me that essentially I could recommend to them whatever I felt would be the appropriate measures to take so that they could solve this problem. They understand it's serious. They understand it's been a long-term problem for them. They understand that the measures they've taken in the past have not been successful, and so they have turned to me to see if I could help them draft a remedial plan that might address the deficiencies that have resulted in them being here up to this point. My experience is not associated with this sorts of things, so the first thing I felt I needed to do was to go to some beer stores and talk to the owners there to see what measures they put in place to eliminate this kind of problem. I went to a couple of Casey's and talked to managers there to look at their POS systems and to look at their training programs to see what they do. I talked to them about wages to see if maybe financial incentives might eliminate the problem. I came away a little frustrated, frankly. Most of what I heard that Casey's were doing, we were already doing. And I'm looking for a new way to maybe make sure that we don't find ourselves back here again. And so we sat down. I've met in 10 days, I've met 3 times with these folks. We've discussed what steps we're going to take, and we've come up with 5 basic areas that we would like to address. And the first is our hiring practices. We are a neighborhood store, and so we have struggled historically getting people from outside the neighborhood to be willing to drive in and work. And so we are kind of, I don't want to say limited in a negative way, but we are limited to pretty much the community, which is fine with us, but we are limited to the community within which we have business. We are trying to develop an employment flyer to get the word out in the neighborhood that we are looking for people to help us to serve as clerks. We are trying to develop an employee profile that can help us understand the kinds of people that are more likely to be successful working in this environment and make sure that we don't cross the line again and not ask for IDs. We've implemented exit interviews. The clerk who was cited this last time, I've interviewed her twice to try and get her to give me a sense of where the deficiencies are most present and resulting in the violations. And so I've interviewed Melissa twice. There is another clerk that I'm trying to interview to get a sense from her. And then I mentioned financial incentives to see if possibly the hourly wage that we're paying is not sufficient to attract the kind of worker that we can hope would show the kind of responsibility that we need to avoid future problems. The second is we are probably deficient in our employee training. We do meet with the employee, of course, and explain to her or him what is necessary, but that has not been successful. And so I thought that I would step in at this point and we would do a joint training, and a part of it could be that I make sure I understand or explain to the clerk what the ramifications are of selling to a minor, what the penalties are in Tennessee, what would happen to them if they were cited, in the hopes that maybe if they understand the ramifications to themselves, that maybe they'll will adjust. We will consider new security measures. In my exit interviews with Melissa Sellers, she said that there is a fair number of young men who tend to loiter and hang around the outside of the store that cause problems, put pressure on clerks, make them fearful to ask for an ID or make them fearful to refuse to sell. And so there are security concerns there that we have to address. Quite frankly, the store is not profitable enough to hire a full-time security guard there, but we need to do something to try and get that situation under control. Signage is not a deficient deterrent, or it has not been a sufficient deterrent. And so we have to spend more time thinking about what we're going to do around the premises to try and make the situation better. We've added, there are 16 security.
Could I ask you a question real quick there about what you just said? You said signage is not a deterrent. Are you talking about like no trespassing signage?
No
Okay.
trespassing, no
Thank you.
loitering.
Thank you.
Those signs are posted,
Okay.
but they're pretty much ignored. We have 16 security cameras. We have a very large monitor there so that the clerk can see all the necessary places around the store environment, but that has also not been particularly helpful. So we are working on that, and I grouped that with employee training and kind of the layout of the store to help the employee. We have a policy manual that she has written, but I feel like it needs to be fattened up a little bit. There's not sufficient detail in the policy manual, and so we're going to work on that and make sure that that's something that is reviewed with the clerk before she starts working or he starts working, and that the clerk gets a copy of the manual so that they know what is expected of them and what the ramifications will be if we're not successful. There is some operational changes that can be made. I think the signage that is there is not prominent enough, and so I think there are some things that we can do around the outside part of the store and in the front that makes that jump out a little bit. I also think over the cash register, over the clerk's area there is signage there, but it doesn't jump out to me as either. So I think if we can make sure the customer knows when they're approaching the cash register, they will be carded and cannot be sold without being carded, I'm hopeful that maybe will help. Besides the Casey's interviews that I've done, we also plan to go to a couple other stores, more, I guess, mom and pop stores, for lack of a better way to phrase it, so that I can get a sense of, is there a unique set of challenges that face a store like this as opposed to a Casey's or Waggles or something along that line, to see if there's any insights that we can glean from those sorts of stores who have been in operation for a while. And then finally, we have, the POS system has a mobile app, and we have, she logs on to the mobile app when she's not at work to kind of, I guess, supervise, if you will, the clerk that is on duty. We have talked about doing that in a more structured way. And I mean, she's working 7 days a week, 8-hour shifts, so I can't expect her to do a whole lot more, but maybe some monitoring from home on the mobile app and the clerks knowing that they're being monitored, maybe that will help sort of tighten things up a little bit. And then also, what we're going to do are some random security camera reviews so that we can just randomly pull footage from times when other clerks work to try and see and make sure that they're doing what they're doing. The POS system still allows a clerk, and I don't know a way around this, but when you bring a beer up to the cash register, if I want to punch grocery, it's not going to require that I scan an ID in order to process a grocery item. And so the clerk intentionally programming a beer or an alcohol product as a grocery product allows them to override the POS system. So I'm interested in talking to other stores to find out how they are able to set up their system to prohibit the clerk from being able to do that, if it's even possible. And so those are the 5 areas that we're working on. We're committed to try and make this better. And this woman's work record, she's been there for 7 years. She's never been cited. My understanding, she has never been cited for selling to a minor. It's always been employees that are there that have had that happen. And so all I can say is we're committed. I will work with them, and we will try our best to solve this problem. We do understand it's a serious problem. I'm glad to take any questions if anybody has anything.
Officer Presley?
Hey, yes, I have a couple of questions. One, I think you answered there. I was wondering if you did have any kind of scanner system there, even if it's just a handheld scanner that they can use for IDs.
We do have the scanning system, and you can scan the ID too with the scanning system.
Okay.
So Officer Presley,
Yes.
the system they have, and you're probably far more familiar with it than I am, but the system is once she punches in beer or alcohol, they
Right.
have to scan the ID, and then the system tells them whether it's okay to sell or not.
Okay. The other question I had was, we had talked before when you had your last incident about some of the security concerns about what you're saying about your clerks concerned about the people that are hanging around. And I had offered you some extra help with that, but you never accepted that help. And I was just curious as to why you didn't kind of come to me with that. We were willing to help with that.
Actually, I call like many times. If you can find out, I call many times. People hang out outside. Can you call?
Sure.
Can you send here somebody? You can find out. I call many times, and I always like, keep eyes for my home. Like if I see somebody, people hang out, I always call police even from home too.
Mm-hmm.
So I do try my best to move from people.
Okay. We can talk more afterwards if you like about how trespass lists work and things like that, if you're more interested in that, okay?
And also like that 3-4 people, they always hang out. I want to make them, all of them, 4 or 5 people, make them trash from over there.
Sure.
So that way there's no problem then after that. And I'm just being like, also a human being. I don't want to be like because I'm a neighborhood, but I try now. I'm not going to feel bad for nobody, and I'm going to do right thing, and make them trash for everybody, for who people hang out over there.
Can I ask for clarification? When you said you call, Ms. Patel, are you talking about you call just dispatch number? You're not meaning that...
911, I call
Okay.
usually, yeah.
You're not calling Officer Presley directly?
No.
Okay.
I can take a number after this.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear.
No,
So I
I trust me, I don't like it either.
Okay.
And she know that. She come over there. She know how hate I am. I don't like it when people hang out outside because I'm losing business because the nice people don't want to come over there,
Right. I will say, if you would work with Officer Presley
Sure.
on that component,
Sure.
regardless of the violation, that is a separate issue
Yes.
that you could work with Officer Presley on, and she might be able to get somebody else from patrol to
Sure.
help you.
Sure.
We had similar problems with a market in my neighborhood back when Mr. Frost was the council rep for my district, and we ended up having to have a meeting with the owners and the chief of police and others. And what the issue was is a lot of things going on in the parking lot that the staff inside the store were very uncomfortable with, but they were fearful to call KPD for help because they thought it was going to endanger their beer permit. And we assured them that was not going to happen, and that that's not like a mark against you and your beer permit. So if she can help you, if you call her directly and kind of make some plans.
No, I was used to be scared when I buy the store. Like if I keep calling police, they're gonna come and hurt me when police not over there. I used to be scared, but now I need to run the business, to do what I can do, now.
Okay.
I will say in the exit interview with Melissa, she made us aware of the fact that there is a sort of a heightened fear of the clerk at times in dealing with certain customers.
Okay. Councilman Roberta, you have some questions?
Yeah. Ms. Patel and Mr. Stevens, I looked through this, and I really wanted to say that I appreciate a lot of what you've said, but also what you provided the beer board today. You were very transparent and took a lot of accountability in what you've written here in your most recent plan. There were some things that I found concerning. Obviously, the things you're talking about with people maybe putting pressure on your staff was concerning. But speaking of the point of service solution that you have, you specifically talk about how the staff has figured out a way to override the system so they can make these sales outside of the scope of your software that you have and the scanning operation you have. So there's obviously something going on here that's more than just having the technology and having the appropriate training and signage and those kind of things. What are you planning on doing to address that side of things? Because, I mean, you mentioned maybe, our wages aren't sufficient enough to make this work. And maybe, I don't know if that's the answer, but maybe it is. But have you given some thought to how you address that particular issue?
I don't think that can be, that answer wouldn't be acceptable to you if I was standing here saying, I don't know how to fix it. So I've got to figure that out. I'm not there yet. I've done 2 exit interviews with the former clerk who sold, and the only explanation she gives me as to why she overrode the system was that she was having a bad day. And I said, well, but with all due respect, we all have bad days. You're going to have bad days all the time. What can I do to make sure that a clerk who's having a bad day won't override the system and sell without scanning? She didn't really offer me anything that I felt was tangible enough that I could act on that would increase the chances that it wouldn't happen again. So that is, I think, the $64,000 question. How do you put clerks in a position where they won't intentionally override the system? And I thought the best way to go about it is to find out why they did it. Why did you override the system? And I don't have a good explanation yet from the latest clerk. Now, there's one other clerk that I need to talk to that I haven't yet, but I've talked to this one twice, and all she'll tell me is I was having problems with my daughter or granddaughter, I don't remember now, and I was having a bad day. So we've got to figure out what it is, which is the reason why I went to the interviews with Casey's, and those folks obviously experienced the same issues that we're experiencing, and maybe they have figured it out in a way that we haven't yet. But we're going to continue our best efforts to try and find out how to make that work.
Okay. I mean, I think, anyway, I also appreciate you all, being accountable for what's going on, being very verbal about that, and then recognizing how serious this nature is. Mr. Frost, if they have another violation within a rolling 2 years, they go straight to a hearing anyway. Is that right?
That's right. That's a third one. So I guess June 27th, 2026, if they pick up another citation between now and then, they will not come to the beer board. They will go straight to a suspension revocation hearing.
Okay. I see my colleagues have some questions, so I'll let them ask. Thank you.
Councilwoman Parker.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you all for that thorough overview of what activities you've engaged in since the violation. One that I did not hear was about any incentives that you've considered, and I may have missed that, but that's one of the questions we ask as a part of the remedial plan, and based on, still a lot of questions around why servers are doing what they're doing, but if there are these stressors in life and financial stressors being a part of it, maybe some sort of incentive to find those fake IDs could, perhaps force a bit more compliance from servers. Has that been considered?
I thought that's a great idea. What we were thinking about was structuring a payment system to where somebody comes in on probation, they go without selling, without a violation for X number of months, they get a little kick, they go another year without selling, they get another kick. And so we thought about structuring pay. I never thought about the incentive for finding fake IDs or, blocking a sale for someone who's refusing to show an ID. That's a great idea, and we'll definitely talk about that.
Wonderful.
All right, Vice Mayor Smith.
Thank you, Chair. I noticed, do we have a representative from MDC here?
I do not
No, it's a
believe Ms.
rare
Lemons is
circumstance,
here.
but I appreciate your search for best practices. Metro Drug Coalition is a resource. Have you engaged them at all? Maybe I missed that.
We called the police department to see if there were resources they could direct us to. I say we. My secretary was kind enough to call for me,
Yeah.
and she did get a couple of organizations that I could reach out to. I've not done that. The time just hasn't allowed me to do it.
Sure. Metro Drug Coalition is typically at these meetings. They are a great resource. In fact, they're in the form, we'd ask, have you engaged with them? And I think after the first offense, the answer was no. So I wouldn't repeat that. They have best practices and resources available to help, particularly with employees. So either through the office or otherwise, I would reach out to MDC if I were you.
Thank you. I do feel like these questions have probably already been addressed, and there are probably solutions out there. I'm just not aware of them yet. But I can tell you that it's our goal to find out what the answers are and to implement it.
Well, we kind of, their default point to for best practices MDC, so I would highly encourage you reach out to them.
Thank you.
Councilwoman McKenzie?
Thank you, Chair. I want to say, echo what my colleague stated as it relates to the things that you've presented today, I think are moving you guys in the right direction. And it sounds as if you've had several issues that you've had to address as it relates to laundering and some other things and the integrity of some of the people that apparently that you've hired. And I just want to say thank you for being intentional to when you stated you've hired people from the community. And I still want to, I'll say this, there's still good people in that community. It just could be because of the laundering and some other things around your business now that would make it not attractive for them to want to work there. But I think the incentives, it was kind of disturbing to hear that there were employees who were intentionally bypassing the system to be able to trigger them that they had to put in the date of birth. And so I think when you're looking at candidates to hire, the better screening of those folks and references would probably be very helpful as well. But it is at a serious stage right now with the number of incidents that you guys have encountered. So do think you've got some good resources, having Mr. Stevens that's working with you guys as well. So do wish you the best of luck because that is very serious selling to minors. Thank you.
I'm going to ask a quick question before. Ms. Patel, I have a couple of questions about your point of sale system. If I come up and I buy a pack of gum,
Yes.
your point of sale system, do your employees have to scan the barcode on the pack of gum? Or how are they selling me gum?
No, we have a scanning system.
Okay.
But sometimes there's some stuff not coming price, so sometimes they punch, like.
Like it can't find the barcode, so they
Yes,
punch
yes,
override
Yes.
and put the code in?
Yeah, if they try like 2 or 3 times and not scanning, so they do punching.
Okay, so if I came in there and I'm buying gum or chips,
Yeah.
they're gonna scan it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go on. But if I'm buying a can of beer,
Yes.
it's gonna flag and say,
Yes.
red alert, get an ID from her.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Because
we
this
do.
is alcoholic.
Yes. So sometimes it's wet beer. So
Yeah.
she was trying to scan.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you scan, sometimes now come, they do punch. And I told them, don't do that. Try to,
Yeah, like it gets the
clean,
moisture on it.
moisturize. So
Okay.
just clean up and then do. But they don't listen sometimes. And they just go
Yeah.
and do this
Okay.
punching.
And then last question, the system that you have, was it there when you purchased the store, is that correct?
Yes, no, we don't have a used to be. But
Okay.
we get that.
So
the
you
sys-
purchased this point of
Yes.
sale system since you've been in there?
Yes, and also
Okay.
I hire new employees and I train them. The old employees I have like before, I
Uh-huh.
fire them and myself I did teach them,
Yeah.
and everything, like before I leave, when I tell them, I say, check the ID. Even the police officer come, my camera was on and home. I call right away. I said, what's going on? And they say, I'm sorry, my grandbaby was sick, my baby's bad, and I sell the beer for this and that. But I'm not happy for myself
Sure.
either,
Also, with regard to the beer and the scanner, sometimes it won't read the scan, but other times it's not asked to read the scan. So if I scan chips a couple of times, it doesn't read the scan, I punch in override and I enter the product type. I can intentionally do that on the beer if I want to. And so that's a problem with the system that we got to figure out how to keep that from happening.
Okay. So for my colleagues, we have the option here to accept the remedial plan as presented or refer them for a revocation hearing. Suspension and revocation, correct? Did I get that right? Okay, thank you. Oh, Councilman Roberta.
Thank you, Chair. I would say, given the candor that we've been presented with and the detail in their plan, I'd suggest no action. They've agreed to the seriousness of this. They have a period of time where if they get one anyway, they're going to go straight to a hearing anyway. I just appreciate what they've brought to us today and the level of detail. So that'd be my suggestion, just to take no action.
And that's accepting the remedial plan. I didn't mean to confuse folks. Councilwoman Singh?
Thank you. I am of the same mind as Councilman Roberto. We've given them some resources. You're going to share your number with them, officer, and contacting MDC from all of the work that I've seen you do, I feel that you'll follow up on those couple of things and hopefully find a solution.
Hope so.
All right, if there's no further comments from the beer board, okay, we'll take no action at this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Frost.
Thank you, Chair. While Mr. Stevens and his client were speaking, the law department let me know that they filed their remedial plan or paid their fine late. So pursuant to the ordinance, they will be having a hearing, but it's because of the lateness of it. I did not want to bring that up in the middle and potentially sway one way or the other what the members of the beer board might do in listening to their remedial plan. But pursuant to ordinance, the law department has to proceed.
That sounds, what we did sounds disrespectful, not what he's saying, but what we did sounds disrespectful. I want to make sure that this board understands that was an error by council. I read quickly the requirements. I saw it had to be filed 5 days prior to the hearing. I conveniently left out the word business. And so I filed it 5 days before the hearing. It was not 5 business days before the hearing. So actually the fine and the remedial plan was filed 5 days before the hearing, but I think 3 business days before the hearing. So And again, these folks came to see me on the 3rd of March, so they were relying on me to get it filed and get it filed timely. I was the one who dropped the ball on that and filed it late. As soon as I realized it, I called the law director's office to make sure they understood that it was being filed, but it was going to be filed late. It sounds disrespectful. It was really more an error of counsel than it was absolutely an error of counsel, not
Of legal counsel.
of legal counsel.
I take blame for a lot of things. I just want to,
Maybe at 71, I'm too old to start a new practice, but that was my error. And that doesn't make it okay. I just wanted to make sure that the council didn't blame the Patels for that. That was on me.
okay.
Doesn't make it any better.
Vice Mayor Smith.
Yeah, I just want to follow up the security concerns that I heard earlier from the applicant. Officer Presley, it sounds like there's a little, you don't have to come back up. Community safety is a responsibility. Everybody's responsible for making sure that there's safety around your establishment. So if you need additional support from KPD in whatever way, don't wait. Ask us, ask anybody here. We're in this with you in that regard. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. I do want to say, I talked with Officer Presley's husband, who gave me lots of ideas, and I look forward to coming to you and getting higher quality ideas than your husband was able to give me. Well,
there's a gentleman over here on your way out you may want to ask as well. He's got a few ideas. This is Chief Noel, so.
All right.
Is that?
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. He's retired, KPD. We get 2 for 1 services. Okay, if there's no further business before the beer board, this meeting is adjourned. Good enough?